It's been my belief that when you're going to do something, that you should give your all. If you're going to do something, half-assed, then you shouldn't do it because obviously you don't love it. Years ago when I started playing this game, baseball was not my #1 sport. It was actually soccer. When I started to play, it was extremely easy for me to run the outfield, track a ball, but I had no idea how to hit. There was a guy out of Pittsburgh and his name was Tommy Summer. Locally here, he's kind of a legend. His dad taught him certain exercises on how to hit, and then that carried into other people in softball and carried to me. And then we started to develop it on a deeper level. So a lot of softball teams, even at the highest level, most coaches and sponsors don't necessarily go to them and say, these are the requirements or you can't be on this team. My mindset has always been much different. I've enjoyed the process of finding the diamonds in the rough all over the country, taking those players and even players that may not be fully developed and helping those players to develop into their maximum potential. Some people might say, well, why are you qualified to do that? Or why do you do that? Because I took BP 3 times a week for 15 years. And I have to be honest, I don't want to spend 20 to 25 weekends out of my year every single year with people that I don't necessarily vibe with or don't fit the culture of how we do things here. So in that conversation, they're told everything and then they can choose to commit to it or not. They're obviously all adults, whether they're young adults or in their mid-30s or closer to 40 or 40, and they have careers. They have significant others. They have children. They have responsibilities.
I know, we always do that.
There's only one player left that has actually been here since the very beginning of La Familia, and that was Alyssa Schreiner.
Alyssa Schreiner. Schreiner bangs that under right field. It's going to get all the way to the wall, and she is going to motor it with her.
One of the most talented, if not the most talented player in the country. And it has never been about her developing her athleticism or her physical attributes. She already did all of that. It was tying her brain to everything that she brought to the table, and she has worked endlessly to try to bring those two things together.
Hi, my name's Alyssa Schreiner. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I play on La Familia. I've been here for 5 years. Before that, I was on 2 other travel ball teams. We weren't really as good as La Familia is. Before that, Tom chased me down for at least 5 years trying to get me on his team because, I play left center and middle infield, which is wild since I haven't played infield in a very, very long time.
She has been the one player that has been here through everything, whether we had sponsorship or didn't have sponsorship, who has taken tens of thousands of swings to develop herself as a player. When I first met her, she was a young person and hadn't had a career yet or done any of that stuff, and now she's a Pittsburgh City police officer.
I was picked for the USA Futures team this year, and being able to go there and represent my country, being a police officer and playing on 9/11, it was absolutely amazing. That opportunity is what every player looks forward to. You get to play with the best of the best, and you get to represent your country while doing it.
Yeah, and Ryan came.
She is the only one here that has been here since the very beginning.
I still play ball because I love it. I love growing with the people around me, and without that, it would truly just be a sport.
Hick just retired. Hick was with me since C, and it's a huge loss to our team and this team. I've actually called her probably 4 or 5 times since she retired and asked her if she wanted to come back. But I know it's the right thing for her to retire because of her little boy, and he's going to be a superstar, athlete, superstar.
So this is my 4th in a row, and this will be my last. I will be retiring after this one. When I started this, I honestly didn't know what to expect. I never thought that I would win one, much less be working on my 4th. Every year Tom asks me, "Do you believe me yet?" And I tell him no, and I still don't. It's bittersweet. I'll be leaving the game that I've played for a long time. It's time for me to give to my little one. That makes me kind of emotional. But he's 5 and he's playing football and baseball now. So it's his turn, not mine.
There's just been so many players that have impacted mine and Gina's life in so many positive ways inside softball, but mostly outside of softball, that we have watched them grow up and their lives change just in the couple years that they have been with us. And the biggest reward for me is probably not watching them grow on the field, but being able to contribute to their life off the field and who they're becoming as people. So the girls have a lot to think about. They have a lot on their plates. They have a lot going on in their lives, and yet they still continue to want to be here, want to show up. And it's more along the lines of a unit, a family, but we're there for the game itself. So we're down here in Florida, and we're stuck in this house. We've been stuck in this house pretty much the entire week, waiting to play the World Series. We came down early so that we could get some time in working together before we step on the field. This hurricane has been awful, being stuck in this house for this long with these people. I really like this team, but to spend a week in a house and you can't leave with a group of 20 to 40-year-old women, and you are one of like 3 or 4 men, is brutal, to say the least.
Made it the deadliest storm to hit that state in nearly 9 decades.
Chilled out in front of the TV.
We wanted to get down here and practice before the World Series so that we gave ourselves the ability and we felt ready to go into the World Series.
All right. Get the out.
I feel very confident in our team going into the World Series, and I feel like we're prepared.
So this is my first year with La Familia, and I've heard that they are on a winning streak when it comes to the World Series. I've won Worlds twice in my previous career, so being a part of this soon-made history with this streak, it's pretty exciting. It's something that no one ever done before, so I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen on Sunday.
We won those 4 back-to-back No one had ever done that, and no one has surely ever won the World Series after winning those and jumping up a level each year. So this will be very special. I don't know that it will ever be done again. It means the world to us. It means a great deal to me. Over the last 5 years, I have gone through a tremendous amount personally, and this has been the one thing that has kept me moving in the right direction.
I think the importance of winning the 5th year is to show the culture and what we stand for works, and what we put all of our time and effort in and our sacrifice is worth it, and to show that we are truly the legacy of being able to build a team, prepare, and accomplish what we need to accomplish.
I think it's a legacy. I think it's something that nobody ever thought that we could do. Nobody ever thought last year that we were gonna win A. When we lost one of the games early on in the tournament and we had to double dip. We had come through the losers bracket and we came into the championship game, and I don't think anybody thought we were gonna win. So it's just always kind of been that way with this team. We take a bunch of people that nobody's ever heard of and we create a dynasty, and that's kind of what's happened here, and we do it through hard work, and that's what makes it so exciting and so important, is that
softball has made me realize that women are by far tougher than men. Watching them do the things that they do while taking care of children, taking care of whoever their significant other is, while managing everything around them and still playing and having all those distractions is really an impressive thing to watch.
Playing in male sports growing up definitely humbled me, but it also drove me as well. I wanted to be better than them. Just because I was a girl didn't mean that I couldn't do the same things that they could do. Definitely turned a lot of heads. I proved a lot of points, and I still try and do that today.
I started actually when I was younger. I played baseball until I was in 8th grade. Then I transitioned into fast pitch, where I just played for my high school, and then I played travel ball kind of like my junior and senior year. I ended up going to Valparaiso University on a softball scholarship. Played there for actually 5 years because I had to redshirt 1 year when I was pregnant with my son. And from there, after I played there, I actually coached. I was an assistant coach there for 3 years.
Growing up, I played every sport imaginable. I played slow pitch, fast pitch, basketball were my main sports. I also played tennis and soccer. Softball obviously was the most natural, softball and basketball. I played in rec leagues for slow pitch and fast pitch. I never really played fast pitch in college. I played basketball. I really started getting serious about slow pitch after college because, I mean, there's no collegiate level anymore. So when I started in D, I worked really, really hard every year. Tom worked with me every year to get better and better and better. To have a different mindset in the box, to control the box, to take BP differently than most people do, instead of just going up there hacking away, hitting where the pitch is pitched. It's very direct in the way we do it.
What people don't realize in slow pitches, it's not a bunch of people out there drinking beer at the highest level playing. These are Division I athletes. And when people think of slow pitch softball, they think, oh, slow pitch softball, it comes in 15 to 18 miles an hour underhand. It's looked down upon almost, not realizing that it's a completely different game than anything you've ever played in your life. It's not just about hitting the ball hard and far. In baseball, a good average is 300. Or in fast pitch, a good average is 300. In slow pitch softball, you have to hit 700 to be good. So imagine this. Imagine being July or August in Florida. You're going into a tournament. If you lose your first game, you have to win 20 in a row to get back to the championship in 2 days. So your body has to be ready to do that. And if one of the things that happens, a lot of these teams won't prepare themselves or their bodies to be able to go through a run like that. And then when they lose early in the tournament, even if they're really gifted, they can't make it all the way back because they run out of gas.
With La Familia, we do a lot off the field. For us, it's taking BP during the week, it's working out, it's putting the extra work in. Obviously, we're from all over the place, so there's no practicing, there's no getting ready. So in order to be accountable for ourselves, we do it on our own, to where when we do come together, you know the work that everyone's put in.
I would say that the one thing I would have to pick in everything that La Familia does to help us succeed in the end of the year would be the work that we put out throughout the year. Without the preparation that we do, without the workouts, how many times we hit, it doesn't mean anything if we don't do that. If we don't work as hard as we do in Worlds, we would never win because we wouldn't be prepared.
We take it very seriously. Accountability, responsibility, it's all incorporated in the culture. It's something that, you know, it's a non-negotiable. Some people fit, some people don't, but we really truly believe that that's what makes us so successful.
So since joining La Familia and having a conversation with Tom about potentially being on the team, I knew that it was going to be a lot of work. In my mind, I'm thinking, you know, a lot of work ball-wise, and that's good and great. I've done that all my life. I play college ball. I can be in the gym, I can hit, I can work out, whatever. And what I wasn't ready for was the work off the field.
With La Familia comes a pretty, I guess aggressive could be a good word to use, work regimen weekly. So, you know, depending on the week and our travel schedule, we'll do anywhere from 3 BP, well, 1 if we're traveling early in the week, to 3 BP sessions a week, and usually around 3 to 5 workouts a week as well. So, special visitor.
I've always been structured in my life, so coming on this team, everybody holding each other accountable, it was something that I was looking for.
La Familia has an excellent workout regimen that the team does. I think it allows our team to be very athletic and competitive on the field. I come from a background where I've been working out my whole life, and so I was working out probably 6 days a week before I started playing on the team, and it was nice to join a team where there were like-minded individuals that enjoyed working hard on and off the field.
Being a strength and conditioning coach and working with my team has been great. It's definitely had its challenges because I am used to working in person for majority of my experience, my career. A lot of it has been in person. So for us, it's turning in those videos just so that I can watch their form and break it down. If they need to adjust anything, I can help them from the videos. So that's why the videos are so important for me, also for them. But I try and teach them what they're doing wrong if they are doing something wrong, so that way they can learn how to fix it. And again, it's hard to do that via videos, but it's definitely taught me to kind of adapt to that, adapt to everybody's surroundings, what they have access to, and be able to just be more adaptive for me as well, to help them with whatever they need to work on.
What people also don't realize is there's a career to be had in slow pitch softball if you are one of the best players on the men's or women's side. So if you put in the work, you can get to a point where you can actually have a career in this with some of the biggest companies that aren't just involved in fast pitch or baseball, but they're also involved in slow pitch. You know, the company Rawlings is huge in the MLB, right? But they're also huge in softball. They own the 3 biggest brands in slow pitch, Easton, Worth, and Mikan. They own those brands, and then they have a budget for those brands, and they build teams with those brands, and then they hire people to represent those brands in this game. So there's a lot more here than people actually realize.
Starting out in D, we were not a sponsor team. La Familia was not a sponsor team. Every year since, we just build on it and build on it and build on it. Until this year, we're now a Worth sponsor team. Getting that recognition by one of the biggest companies meant a lot. It meant that we were doing the right things to get where we needed to be.
The Worth product is unbelievable. Really enjoying that stuff, and just, you know, trying to put forth, you know, our best as players to represent those brands for those sponsors is really big.
Being sponsored by Worth has been amazing. Before I tore my ACL, I was swinging the watermelon. I love that bat. Currently, I am back to a creature just so that I can control my hands better with my load from my leg. It has definitely been a transition to relearn how to hit and use my whole body again.
For the teams who don't have sponsors, I've been on a team who don't have sponsors, and it's very hard. So having them, it's been very easy for us as major softball players to play the sport that we love so much.
Sponsors are looking for that selflessness and just always appreciation, a little bit of thank you here and there. They do a big thing for us. I know that as far as La Familia goes, we would not be where we're at without those specific sponsors.
I think sponsors are looking for you to show your gratefulness of their support through your actions. So that would be the way that we work hard every single day, our hitting requirements, our workouts, to show that you're appreciative of something is an action. So I think that culture is instilled in us through La Familia. I don't think that sponsors would ask for anything else.
So we are the flagship team for Worth. Being the flagship team, I feel like comes with a lot of responsibility, as far as you are the chosen face that this $1 million company has chose to put out in front of, the world. It's on all their social media. You're it. And I think the responsibility not only comes on the field and how you perform and how you play, but it comes off the field and how we carry ourselves as a team, as a unit. Having them choose us, it's a sense of pride for us because they see something in us.
There's different types of sponsors. There are sponsors that sponsor with equipment. There are sponsors that sponsor with apparel. There are sponsors that just sponsor the game because they love it. Some people have no return on investment that sponsor the game. They're just involved because they love it. Gina and I have sponsored teams over the years simply because we love the game. There is no monetary income for us from this. But there are companies out there that choose to sponsor your team because they feel they want you to represent their brand. That's a special thing because not everybody gets that. There are thousands of teams in slow pitch softball, from the E level to D to C to B to A to AA to major. And a lot of those teams don't have any sponsorship whatsoever. And then there are teams like ours that are extremely fortunate. We, as a team, as an organization, are extremely grateful for those companies.